Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for coming. My name is Nico. It is awesome to have you. And if you have not already, please do not forget to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. I love chatting with you guys. Today I am actually coming back to you from the future because as I was editing this, I realized I did not film an intro for it whatsoever. But I just want to tell you that today we are going to be doing a little bit of DIY kind of fixer-upper stuff. So I can't show it to you right now because it's already been done, but I have a few dressers that I had gotten from IKEA years ago and I had already refinished them. They were just like your basic pine. They had nothing to them or anything. And I was like, that's fine. I can do stuff to them myself, which I did. But after so many years, you know, they're worn down, they're a little bit hectic and everything like that. And when I look through Pinterest and all these things and I see all this inspo and the overall look, which I'll definitely include in here actually some pictures of some of the inspo that I have, but I just feel like, you know, cost effective wise for a lot of people out there, you can't afford to have some of these amazing pieces of furniture at least all the time, or you might have one investment piece or something along the lines of that. So I just kind of got bored with COVID and everything like that. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna refinish it. I'm sick of the vibe in here. I'm sick of the overall look. I want to make it a little bit different and everything. So I just went ahead and did it. We're just gonna be going over everything. So here's a couple of photos of some sort of inspo that I have. This is not something that I could do instantaneously. These are things that were gonna take time. These are things that are gonna be added slowly. Small changes are gonna be made, all of that. So that I thought would be fun to kind of watch the process of before and afters. I love watching stuff like that anyway. When I watch vlogs and stuff like that where people are already doing this and they have all this expendable money where, you know, they completely redecorate an entire room in one go, that's so not realistic for my life. But, you know, maybe one day, but not today. So I figured I would appeal to the masses, I'm hoping here, with just a few small things that you can do that are cost effective, that you do not need to be an expert in. You don't need to be a professional carpenter or like whatever to do these things. I do want to apologize in advance. There is an apartment next door that has some construction going on and you could hear it no matter what, like all day, every day for a few days there while I was doing this. So the sound quality might sound a little bit off just because I did adjust the noise on it, trying to kind of bring it down a little bit. So there are a few parts in here where it's not the greatest sound quality. And then if you stay till the end, I have a couple of questions for you guys, your opinions on stuff and for things that we're gonna be doing in the future. And I would love to hear what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's get going.
Okay, so we have these, they were chalk painted little side table dressers. Everything is a mess right now. The whole room is destroyed because I'm like redoing so much stuff. So just ignore that. These are some test knobs that I wanted to try out on it, but I think that I wanted to go with a warmer wood stain. This was pine originally, and then I took a gray, oh my gosh, chalk paint and mixed it with water, and then I just did kind of like a gray wash over it. And then I did the same with like this one, but it's really dusty, but it's got like a wax top thing to it, but this one's a bigger one. What I read is that you don't actually necessarily need to sand this down then in order to stain it, especially because there's nothing else on it. There's no coat over top of it, like no sealant. Very lightly colored paint, like water over top of it. So we're gonna try it out. Okay, so I'm using what is this? It's in French. The red chestnut stain, and I just did one coat over it. So as you can see, just like down here. And I didn't have to do anything. It looks so pretty.
It does look pretty.
I feel like it looks a little bit more red in the camera, but it's like a really nice color actually.
It's gonna look better in shape.
Yeah, either way. Front. Ooh. is a new dresser that Kyle and I picked up yesterday. It's like an antique dresser actually, and we got it for pretty cheap considering. And I'm actually going to be, oh, the dog wants outside, but it's too much stuff out here, so no. So I'm going to be refinishing it. So I'm going to be fixing up the white, and then I'm going to re-stain these bad boys, but I love this. So yeah, that's going to be a project for pretty soon, over the next few days. Okay. So I used a 100 grit just for a quick once over, and then I used a 180 fine to just do a little quick thing. The best part about chalk paint is just that like you don't need to sand down everything and strip it all again, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it's just a little bit like yellowy toned and everything now and whatnot, so. Okay, so I'm getting started on this white one. I did like a quick kind of sand over it, nothing too crazy, just because I'm just going to take some chalk paint and I'm just going to do a light layer over. I don't care about it being, I don't think, at least yet, I don't care about it being too hardcore coverage-wise. And then I noticed that some pieces were kind of like splintering and everything. Glue and wood filler and whatnot. Figure all this out. Then I'm gonna let it dry and sand it down, and then I'm gonna work at some point. I need to find a proper fitting screwdriver to take these handles off so that I can one, paint the drawers, but then also sand down and or fill the wood on these handles. Just kind of touch these up and stuff, but yeah, just before I work on painting everything. So yeah, so they just need to be touched up and whatnot. I just don't have the proper screwdriver for taking these out, so that'll be a work in progress. So Kyle was amazing and brought me the proper piece to take these off. So I took one off and I sanded it down, and I have to do the other ones. We're on our way. So this is the first layer. So I actually hate chalk paint, just like full force, so I water it down a little bit. That's after first layer. That's what it used to look like, which is actually like white, I swear. It's like weird white. I kind of like the little dark bit coming out. I think that looks cool. Yeah. Oh, it's such a mess out here. So I can't remember at all if I did talk about this before. So this is the bigger one. It's a weird angle. It doesn't look very big, but it's definitely the bigger one. It's got the legs on it too. Of the little side table ones we have. These are pretty old, pretty rough, pretty discolored because I think it got damaged in a move and I tried to paint over it and it wasn't the same color paint and I was like sick, and then I just stopped giving a hoot and heck about anything having to do with that. So there we go. Got a little chipita, little chipper in there. So there's that too. I'm gonna be refinishing this one. Whip, whip, whip. Alright, so I actually just started sanding this top down. So normally if this were a different situation, I would probably get like an actual sander and sand everything down here, but I'm not trying to get rid of all of the color. I like having the kind of woody under effect of something like this. So I just kind of took the wax protector off and then just brought down the color like a slight bit. It used to be way more intense than this. So that's totally fine. I'm just going to use a 180 on it because that's what I have, which is a finer grit, and I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit, and then I'm just going to work on this once again, just trying to get rid of like a bunch of the gray color, but it's not the end of the world kind of thing for at least a project like this. Alright, so alright, so this is the original kind of gray wash. As you can see, like you can see some of the wood here, but obviously over here there's a little bit of gray, but we mostly got it, and that's perfect for at least for what I'm doing and how I want to match the other dressers. Having a little bit of this color still in it is going to make the stain slightly darker in these places. So obviously the lighter parts, it's going to be the truer stain color. This is going to cause like a really cool kind of I guess just like a fact that I really like in the other dressers as well that I want to match. So it's going to give this like multi-dimensional kind of aspect to it just because it's a light wood. Obviously if this were a different kind of type of wood and it was maybe darker and everything, it would be a little bit more predominant, but yeah, I don't know. I just love the effect, so that's what we're going with. I can't decide what to do. So I don't know if I should stain the top the same color or if I should paint it white. What should I do? Let me put a poll on Instagram. That's what I'm gonna do. No. Alright guys. So I did a poll online and it was pretty much 50-50 across the board if we should do the top white. So I talked to Kyle and he preferred the dark. He thought that the white might look kind of weird on it. It's also something we could always change pretty easily. It would be harder to sand off the paint and put on stain than it would to be just put paint over top of the stain. So we went with the easier route and I actually like it. But yeah, so just thinking the white kind of cool vintagey knobs or something like that, but it looks really nice. I'm just gonna let the stain dry for a little bit and then I'm gonna put a protective coating on it and boom. I'm so tired. I can't be bothered to care about this right now. It's been so dedicated to these dressers. You have no idea. So I actually can't even remember if I recorded anything at all regarding this, but basically one of the smaller dressers that I stained, there was a little something on one of the drawers and it was like something that had previously been on it and I must have stained over it without really noticing. It was getting a little bit like dark kind of when I was kind of finishing the last of the staining initially. So the next day when I went to go and check on them, I noticed this, like the stain over top of this marker, like gunk or something, and I was like distraught over it. I was like, oh my god, no, like you could really see it. So I took some sandpaper and I was just like, ooh, just a little bit, and then went to put stain over top of that and it looked completely different. As what did my friend say? He said, so I sent a picture, because he was like, oh, it can't be that bad. And I sent a picture and he was like, oh,
Oh, hi puppy. He was like, oh, it looks like your dresser skinned its knee. Like it fell off of its bike or something.
Also, the dog is just like having a time right now. You see the face?
Anyway, so I consulted with my guru. I kind of just bit the bullet and I spent like an entire day sanding it back down again. And even then I could not get it perfect. So exhausted. I was like spaghetti arms after. Kyle very graciously helped after he spent an entire day at work where he does like, physical labor and stuff all day. So bless him for taking pity on me.
Hi, baby. Oh, good boy. Hello, I love interactions. I love them from you.
You little brat. Everything about me is rough right now. And then I went over it again with the exact same stain and it gave that more warm reddish sort of tone to it and I love it. I don't know if you can hear Kyle, he's out playing games and giggling right now. So I put the old knobs on. I'm thinking about getting new ones, I'm not 100% sure. These like accent knobs that I really, really love. So I'm thinking about getting those or I might just stick with the dark ones that are on it. I kind of put them on to see and then figured maybe I'll ask you guys what you think.
This right here, so that's my side, that's Kyle's side. They look really nice. So these are the cool accent ones. And these are just some plain like kind of knobs. I love it. I love the color. I think it looks so warm but like fresh and clean. Like I think it adds warmth into the room. And then here is this other dresser. I'm not like, my heart's not set on like a few things in here. Like I said, we just rearranged kind of everything. This is sort of just where it is right now, but I'm thinking what I really, really want is I've seen some cool like hat walls and I just threw these. I had other things hanging here and I didn't really like them anymore, so I just threw my hats up there, which is so silly. I don't think that they're gonna be staying up there, but that's just what it is for now. I absolutely love how this turned out. So the only thing is that the drawers here are a little bit uneven, as you can see here. So Kyle just is going to fix that. I mean, being a carpenter and all, I love it. This bothers me emotionally like so much. I just want it to sit perfect. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I really, really do. I like that it's white. It's really bright and nice, but like still ties in. And then if I got white handles, I feel like the white handles, they would tie in with each other really nicely. Do you know what I mean? Beep, 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 beep. And then also, so with this, originally when I started playing around with it, so I got chalk paint in like, I think it's called linen white. It's white. I got like a small one too. Like I didn't get a big one at all, and I only used about half of it. So for your reference, if you maybe have like this and then some like side tables or something along the lines of it, you really don't need a lot, but that depends on what you're doing. So you guys saw the before of this. It was like this like kind of yellowing white. It has like this natural sort of wood thing under it. It was a little bit more dominating before I painted over it. But so took the white paint and I put it on and I realized I didn't want it to be like stark white. I like the rest of that like natural woody kind ofness and everything. It's a little bit more like rustic feel, a little bit more like natural. That's what I wanted. I wanted like a natural look to everything. I didn't want it to be like a laminated, like fake looking one, because this is actually, it is an antique and it is made from oak, I believe. It's really fucking heavy. We're barely able to like move it with Kyle's help. So there's that. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to keep that. I like that it's not perfect. So when I initially started putting the white paint on, I realized that it was gonna take over everything too much. So the cool thing with chalk paint, I've done so much work with chalk paint before and refinished and repurposed a bunch of older furniture, but you can actually mix it with water. So that's what I did. I legitimately just had like a little cuppy thing of water and I would just dip my brush into it or then like kind of go over it and whatever. And it's really, really easy to like, and malleable. So like you can play with it a little bit. If it's too opaque of a white and you want it a little bit more translucent, you just add more water and you go back and forth and play around that way, which is really, really cool. So that is what I did. For your reference, I only did one layer. When it dried and I looked over it before I put the Varathane over it, I did kind of touch up a few spots. It was mostly like right here in this middle piece.
and then a little bit like right in here, and then like on this side, but that's really it. And I almost forgot to do underneath here, but I remembered and I did that. And then that's it, and then sanded these down and then stained them as well. Other than that, I love it. It looks so cool. So I do have another dresser. It is the one that actually went with this. So this is just from IKEA, actually. This is the Rest dresser, and I have like refinished that dress, these dressers so many times. Like I said, it was like a gray before, and then I am also going to be oh my god, there's like a matching one. It's just like bigger and it has actual legs on it. I think it's called Tarva, pretty sure. So I have that one as well, and that used to be kind of my whole dresser situation. So the Tarva one is the one that the TV used to be on. It's currently just out in the living room because it's raining out in the balcony and everything today, so I didn't put it out there. But I'm gonna refinish that one the same as the stained ones as well, and then have it at least matching. And then I think it would definitely fit right here. And then if not, and like it's too much and don't really like it, our room is actually fairly large. I have tons of room for activities. Oh, and then, so I have these things currently. Anything that's like a photo, I did myself, I drew them myself. These are from like an antique store. They're actual like butterflies and cicadas and stuff. I don't know. I think tent bugs are cool. And then also with this wall, Kyle kind of likes this wall a little bit more empty. He thinks it makes the room look bigger, which I don't necessarily disagree with by any means. We do have quite like fairly tall ceilings actually. I want to bring the curtains up higher, I think. That being said though, I'm definitely over the like collage wall. I think I'd rather do large prints. I have been looking at prints. There's one, I was looking on Society 6, and we're looking for like the extra large ones and everything, and then maybe just like building our own frames, just because frames are so expensive. It's so silly how expensive they are. We're looking at kind of like funny ones. Like there are some sort of like minimalist ones that I like, very neutral, but then also there's one, it's like a cab in New York, and there's like a llama sticking its head out of the cab or something, and it's just like kind of cool, kind of vintagey, and Kyle and I both really liked that, and it's in black and white. Contemplating getting some really large prints and doing that. If you guys have any thoughts or recommendations, or just like anything at all regarding the room, something cool that we could do, please let me know. I love hearing about it and everything. I have like a lot of plans, but right now it's more about like finances and stuff like that. I have so many inspo things. Kyle loves sitting down with me and like looking through Pinterest and just talking about all of this stuff. It's so much fun. I love doing this kind of stuff. It's so much fun. If I could be paid to be somebody's decorator and I just had like endless money, I didn't have to like cut corners or anything like that, oh my god, I would be primo. I'd be freaking primo at that. Absolutely. This might be the end of the vlog right now. So in that case, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And any other little home renos or anything like that we do, I will keep you updated and maybe take you through it. If you have not already, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.